Oh, hello everyone. My name is Justine Abigail and I'm the founder of Living Hyphen, a community that explores what it means to live in between cultures. We started as a print magazine back in 2017 when conversations around representation were very much on the fringes and not at all in the mainstream like it is today. Back then, I would browse through the Canadian literature aisle of bookstores and notice a very specific homogeneity in authors' names. I would visit art galleries and peruse exhibitions that featured primarily white artists. And this was all in a country where millions of people claim over 250 distinct ethnic origins and where, quote unquote, diversity is our strength. And so Living Hyphen was born out of this glaring lack of representation in arts and literature. And the response since starting this community has made abundantly clear how crucial it is to have a space that prioritizes racialized storytellers. Upon launching our inaugural issue, we sold out our first print run within a single month. We've since reprinted that issue twice, printed 2 more issues, and published over 150 artists and received over 1,000 submissions across the country. We've secured distribution in bookstores across both Canada and the US. We began hosting a podcast. We even adapted some of our stories into a stage play. But for every person who submitted their story, I've received 20 more emails from racialized folks who expressed the shame and the doubt that they have felt in telling theirs. So many have spoken to me about having to quiet and hide parts of themselves to fit a very specific mold that they've been told they needed to fit into. The truth is that those of us from racialized communities, we've been told from our earliest days by the institutions and the influences around us that our stories don't matter, that our stories are not worth listening to, are not valid, are not Canadian enough, are not X ethnicity enough. And so those stories are left not only unheard, they're left entirely untold. Representation matters, yes. We need to see ourselves in the media to even be able to imagine ourselves in experiences. We need to see ourselves in the media to aspire for opportunities greater than what may be available in our immediate worlds. But after reading those messages, I realized that more than representation, we need funding. We need programming, resources, and mentorship to turn that imagining into a reality. And so I set out to organize and facilitate our first writing workshop, a space where racialized storytellers could share their stories freely. As an independent publication, Living Hyphen didn't have the money to make that happen. But luckily, I came across Taking It Global's Rising Youth Grant. And so I applied for $750 to help me cover the cost of a space and provide writing materials for our attendees. And now I know that $750 might not sound like a lot of money to you, but it was huge for us. We gathered 10 writers for 3 hours of writing and story sharing, and it was transformative. Together, we created a space where we could courageously share our complicated stories and actually be seen and heard without having to explain our experiences. It was a vulnerable and generative space for racialized writers to finally see themselves as exactly that, writers. That moment and that money was so pivotal in Living Hyphen's journey. After seeing how transformative this kind of program could be, we set out to do it again and again and again. 3 years later, we've hosted over 120 workshops with over 1,700 writers joining us from all across Turtle Island. We've partnered with libraries, with school boards, and other cultural organizations to deliver our writing workshops. And those writers have now gone on to publish their work, not just in our magazine, but in countless other publications. That funding was a complete game changer for us. It allowed us to see what was once just an idea and turn it into a living reality that has deeply affected the lives of so many. So I'll say it again, representation matters, yes. But if we want to move towards truly cultivating diverse voices, we must go deeper. We must provide the resources, mentorship, and funding to make that happen. Thank you.